Hey everybody, excuse me, welcome to Average Guy Opinions. I'm your average guy, John Corelli. Listen to this. Alright, those are the 17-year cicadas. You probably heard them. You probably have them where you live. They're pretty much everywhere, from what I understand. They're the ugliest bugs ever, by the way. If you ever see one, they're pretty hideous, but it's an amazing life cycle they have. It's a 17-year life cycle. Even though you hear them every year, they're whatever it is, what I want to call incubation stage, from egg to pupa to larva to full-grown insect, is apparently 7 years long. Pretty cool thing. And I love, that's part of the reason I love August. In August, you heard me, if you heard my last couple of videos I did at night, the crickets come out at night, the cicadas come out during the day, and at dusk you can hear both. There's a really wonderful natural sympathy, natural sympathy, a natural symphony of insect life. It's pretty cool. I love it. So August is one of my favorite months. It's also getting close to my birthday, so that's why I like it. I've always anticipated my birthday. I don't know why. Maybe I'm, like I said in another earlier video, I'm very immature at heart and still look forward to birthdays. And it's also cooling off in August, so that's nice. It's a good thing. So, what I come to talk about today? Two things I came to talk about. First of all, knee-jerk reactions, and frankly, I think it's a bunch of a phony sensitivity that a lot of people bring into the comedy club, or even if it's not a comedy club, that phony sensitivity that they bring with them. For being tough-ass Americans, we've often become very, very thin-skinned when it comes to sticks and stones, right, versus words. So I guess I should have said in reverse, but so when I got, I mentioned this a couple videos ago when I got called transphobic for my jokes. A, like I said, they weren't transphobic. B, I don't know. Here's what I'm going to call it. I hate pep rally comedy. I fucking hate it, because all it is you just scream, and it's not even laughter. It's not even comedy. Honestly, it's people screaming to what they agree with, and equating that to laughter in a comedy club, and it's not. So that happened several times. So here's what happened. Like I said, I mentioned how my set went, which I honestly overall was pretty good on Saturday night. But the host, as I said, she kind of gave me quote unquote constructive criticism for my set that her friends found transphobic. No one else did. And just that this is kind of a symptom, I think, of the internet. I'm a symptom of the internet. I think that I'm given 10 minutes a day thinking this is actually worthy of someone listening to. And so I'm very thankful for those of you who watch and listen, but I don't know, a lot of it's just babbling. A lot of it is just, that's why it's called Average Guy Opinions. I'm just an average guy giving you my opinion. And so there's good and bad to the internet. This is probably average, actually. Sometimes you bring something that's kind of interesting to the table. Sometimes it's absolute garbage. So, and I gotta adjust my phone a little bit. I'm sorry, because I can't see the clock. There we go. So sorry about that. But yeah, very average production going on here. But there's a certain selfishness that comes along with the internet, and everyone thinking they have something to say, or thinking what they say is valid. And there's a good and a bad to that. It's good that we have spread out our what do you want to call it, our zeitgeist. Ooh, I'm getting all fancy. I probably misused the word, but we're spreading out opinions, and it is good. There's a diversity there that needs to be seen and heard by everybody, but it's also, unfortunately, it is a lot of opinions and no facts going on. And there's also a lot of people that are very thin-skinned, especially, like I say, in comedy clubs and other places that do comedy. And like, it's like Saturday night, the host talked a lot about eating ass in between acts, and her pack of lesbians over there just screamed, thought it was great, and it wasn't funny. It was just, oh, eating ass. There was nothing funny about it. I was like, you're gonna make a joke about eating ass? No, I'm just gonna say eating ass, and my friends are gonna scream and think that's awesome, and then I think I'm awesome. That also happened with what was the other thing? Just anything that was pro-lesbian. Not that there was anything anti-lesbian the whole night, but anything pro-lesbian, eating pussy, just anything. Oh, weed. You say weed? Really? You still say weed 9 years after we we voted for to legalize weed in the state, and that still gets people to scream and pump their fists in the air. And it's not comedy. Um, And Bill Burr has some really good points. If you ever watch him, he has some really good points on what comedy is becoming, and how you as a comedian just got to do your thing. And that's the wonderful thing about Bill Burr. Bill Burr is like a year, 6 months younger than me. The guys I love are around my age. I've mentioned them before: Louis C.K., Doug Stanhope, Bill Burr, the late Patrice O'Neill, the late Greg Giraldo. Check out these guys. They were fearless, and I don't know if I'm fearless or not, but I am not going to let a pack of lesbians tell me I'm transphobic when I'm not, and affect my writing or my comedy in any way. It's ridiculous, or a clueless host either. So, yeah, I mean, and then sometimes it's racial too, like George Lopez. Oh my God, he was a great comic in the '80s and '90s. And now I hear him. I think he came back with some better comedy, but the second to last special I heard him do, it was all just it was him just talking about how great Mexicans are. And I'm not saying Mexicans aren't great, but there are great Mexicans, there are shitty Mexicans. There are great whites, there are shitty whites. There are great blacks, there are shitty blacks. Do you know what? You see where I'm going with this? Great lesbians, shitty lesbians. And the percentages are equal. There are great and shitty people of every race, gender, sexual orientation, whatever. There are great Coloradoans, there are shitty Coloradoans. It's all equal. And if you go into it looking at it that way, and then you're more apt to uh, see a person as an individual than worry about their umbrella of what they're trying to hide under. That's why I've never given much credence to the fact that I'm Italian American. Who cares? This is what matters: is what's in here, and what you do for the world in the end. Do I foist a lot of shitty jokes on the world? Hell yeah. So, yeah, I get frustrated. But anyway, back to George Lopez. I mean, he would just say, "Yeah, we're Mexicans. We do everything better, and faster, and cheaper," and that's true to an extent. Um, but it's also true of many of every other people on this planet, whether it's the Greeks or the Italians or even the English at some point. Everyone did it cheaper, better, and faster at some point, or at least one of those three things. And there was actually, on one of his specials, there was actual mariachi band because it was a pep rally. It wasn't fucking comedy. It was just him screaming stuff at people that are the same race as him and them screaming approval back. There's very little funny about it. And this was very disappointing because I considered George Lopez a really good comedian and above that type of pandering. And that's when, in the end, that's what it is: pandering. It's not comedy. When you go out there with that mic, you have a challenge to make people laugh, and that's what I try to do. Sometimes you screw up. Like I screwed up 4 years ago. Thought I could say anything out there, and there's crossroads where you don't just want to make people laugh, because eventually it becomes very easy to just make people laugh. There are several things that make people laugh all the time, and you can hit upon those all the time, and the challenge goes away. The challenge comes in is you go Lenny Bruce on them, I call it. You try to make them think and make them laugh, and that's hard. And in that vein, I did try that, and I still try to do that. I mean, I try not to get too political about it, but I hope to make people think, and especially at age 53, and not just do dick jokes and make them laugh. Within that, where was I going with that? What I said on Facebook almost 4 years ago. So November of 2017. I remember it pretty distinctly because I got vilified for it in the local comedy community. But here's almost exactly what the post said. I said, I say nigger on stage, I'm not a racist. I say faggot on stage, I'm not a bigot. I say pussy on stage, I'm not a misogynist. Hopefully I make you laugh and make you think. And that was it. And I really thought that posting that on Facebook would just get a discussion going about context in comedy. No, it did not. People, not only friends but strangers, just jumped on me, said you should not be doing comedy. Called me a racist. I was like, I just said I wasn't a racist. Just because you say that word in a bit does not make you racist. Listen to the context of the joke. Listen to the entire joke. If it's not funny, it's not funny. I could deal with that. But if you really think it's a racist joke, it's not just because a certain word is said. Louis C.K. has said nigger in bits. Patton Oswalt has said nigger in bits. George Carlin, none of them used them in that tone, and everyone knew that they were not racist. I'm not a racist, is what I'm saying. And I'm also saying that in the end, you have to, as an audience member, maybe just let your guard down a little bit and don't be so knee-jerky and think that just because I look like a certain guy, because I know I look like a guy that maybe bullied you or slapped your mom around. I know I'm a thick, dark, angry-looking guy. Try to put that aside, what I look like, and maybe just listen to the words and see if they resonate with you and if they make you laugh. All right, I went way longer on that than I expected to. coming at you with another video in a minute. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Thanks for listening and watching. See you next time. Bye.